Hello, everybody, and welcome to Early Access Podcast, episode 68. I am your host, Angelo, as usual, and thank you for checking out the video or listening on YouTube or watching on a YouTube, listening on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast at. So this episode, the main topic is going to be about microtransactions. Now, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because of the fact that again, with Destiny, I know I've been talking a lot about Destiny lately, but that's only because it actually brings up a lot of topics that are interchangeable with what else is going on in video games in general, specifically in free-to-play world and the indie world, and anyway. So microtransactions, specifically in this context. So recently, as recently as yesterday, Bungie has introduced the Eververse trading company into Destiny, which this added a purchasable in-game currency called silver. And currently what you can do is you can buy this silver to purchase one of 18 different emotes. It's a lot. It's dances and different character emotions like pointing, slow clap, victory cheer. There's a blowing kiss. There's the enthusiastic dance, which is just the Carlton, but clearly somebody owns that. Hi, Baba. Hi. So the what I wanted to bring up was the conversation that people are having, or not really a conversation, it's more of just like a straight up argument. It's the argument that people are having about what they expect Bungie to do now that this currency exists in the game. So now you can go and buy this silver with real money to purchase these dances and these these emojis, emotions, or the emotes. Sorry, I'm just bad with words tonight. So, the thing is, they cost, I don't know, somewhere between like a couple bucks and $5. I think the most expensive ones are these legendary ones, like the Carlton and the Slow Clap are the two. And I think they cost they're 500 silver. So, I don't have the numbers in front of me. Maybe it's in the store. Let me see. No, it's not going to be on this page. Anyway, so basically, to buy all 18, it would cost you $38. I read that on some article. So it would be $38 of real money to purchase all 18 emotes. Now, people are worried about this creeping into, say, being able to buy weapons or boosts that give you higher drop percentages, stuff like that. I don't think they're going to go that route, only because of the fact that the controversy behind it. However, it does introduce the ability for them to do it. Now, the problem is the vocal minority is out there, again, complaining about microtransactions because their thing is it's a paid game. Why should they, why should they have microtransactions? And I'm going to explain it to you in the simplest way I can. So Destiny is an MMO. Granted, the content wasn't as great as they promised early on in the development of this game. But however, where it sits now, I feel like it's a complete MMO experience. There's plenty of content now, based on what I've played of it. I've gotten my money's worth out of it. Now, if you were to purchase every expansion from the beginning, so $60 for the base game, and then each of the 3 expansions, you'd spend somewhere around $120, give or take. Depending on how you purchase your expansions. For me personally, it was $80 because I bought the legendary edition, the collector's edition, when the Taken King came out. However, I'm sure if like any game, if you kept up with it as it came along, you paid a little bit more. Now, the one argument is that people believe that these kind of things also should just be in the game. Considering that they're only cosmetic, whatever floats your boat. If you don't want to buy them, don't buy them. If you do want to buy them, buy them. I'm not trying to argue the case either way. However, what I want to do is I want to point out just how silly it is to complain about microtransactions in the way that they're doing it here with something like this. I understand, don't get me wrong, I understand that the main reason people are upset is because of the fact that it's an in-game currency. So it gives them the ability to flip a switch and go free to play if they wanted to, which I want to strongly believe that that's not going to be the case. However, I understand free to play games are pretty lucrative. Now, I'm going to compare this to World of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft costs you, I think it's $12 a month if you don't buy it annually. So if you're paying per month, you're paying about $12 a month. So you're paying a little over $120 a year just in subscription fees to play WoW. That doesn't include having to purchase the expansions when they come out, which the argument before when I was talking about when the Taken King came out, people were talking about content disappearing. You want to talk about content disappearing, go back to a number of expansions in WoW where they completely redid and redesigned and got rid of complete areas of that game. Now, what I wanted to point out, though, is this kind of microtransactions that are minor, that cost you, somewhere between $1 to $5, and in total it's $38 worth of cosmetic stuff. I wanted to point out all the cosmetic stuff that you can purchase right now for WoW. And it's not even all cosmetic. Specifically, the pets aren't cosmetic. So I just went to the WoW website and I just clicked on the store. There's currently, 24 items that you can purchase with real money, of which 11 of them are pets. Now, if you don't play WoW and you don't know about it, there's like a Pokemon-like pet battle system in there. So each one of these pets actually does have an impact on the game. They're not solely cosmetic like they used to be. Pets used to just follow you around. Now they actually have a use in the game and have an actual in-game value, where the emotes don't. So these are $10 a piece, and there is 11 different pets that you can purchase for cash on the World of Warcraft website. Now, as far as cosmetics go, there are 10 different mounts. Again, completely cosmetic. 10 different mounts. They're $25 a piece. $25. 25 $25 a piece. So, it'll cost you quite a bit of money to buy all the pets and all the mounts. And actually, one of them's $30. So there's that. So $25 a piece. One of them's $30. And then there's also 3 helms that can be used for transmog, and those are $15 a piece. So you're looking at several $100s worth of purchasable goods, for like cosmetic goods, for a game that charges you an annual subscription, a monthly subscription, and charges you for the expansion costs. So what makes it okay for a game like WoW to do it? Is it because they don't have an in-game currency? And I'm actually asking because I'm curious as to why everybody wants to complain that that Destiny is doing it with microtransaction. Is it the fact that there's a separate storefront, or is it the fact that you're all ignorant to the fact that every game does this? They use this money to fund things outside of the game. Now, honestly, I don't mind. I would rather Destiny start charging a subscription to make that money, but they don't have the means to do that. So for a game like WoW, when they sell several million copies of an expansion, that's clearly not enough to support all the stuff that they do. I'm talking about in-game events, special events, additional content like these pets. They charge for the expansion, and then on top of it, they're charging a monthly subscription, and it's still not enough. So for the fact that Destiny doesn't even have a fraction of the player base that World of Warcraft does, or it's maybe it's relatively close as far as the player count goes, but they need a means for consistent cash flow, which their model as it stands, being a pay once and play like a Guild Wars 2 or a Guild Wars style game, doesn't really give them that cash flow to continue to develop in-game content, like a la special events if they do that kind of stuff, or stuff like the Black Spindle quest or the Sleeper Simulant quest. If you want more stuff like that, just the purchase price of the expansion doesn't really do that. What that does is it actually funds that expansion. So if you want additional content outside of that, like stuff like this is going to have to work, and you have to rely on that 10%. So pushing back against it really doesn't do anything. And if a game like World of Warcraft can do it, I don't see why there's so much pushback on a game like Destiny. I think it's just because Destiny has such a negative rap from the launch that people are still just consistently upset about how this game was received. And now that it's actually in a good place and they're trying to do things to continue to give you that kind of content, it's still the same group of people that were upset in the beginning that are still upset now. There's a reason why it's listed consistently as like one of the most played games on both platforms, because it's very popular. So there's the vocal minority that are out there complaining about this stuff, and then there's everybody else, and then there's some gray area in between. I just think that until Bungie does something that's not cosmetic with the microtransactions, you need to just wait before you start crucifying them. Innocent until proven guilty. They haven't done anything wrong yet, so don't treat them like they're going to. Let them hang themselves. If they want to do that, let them hang themselves. If they don't take the advice from the community, as we all see on the internet where everybody doesn't want that stuff, if they don't listen to these, like everybody saying that, then they clearly just don't understand. So microtransactions aren't always bad. This kind of stuff is going to help fund some really cool stuff in the future if they're telling the truth about what the money's for, and I have no reason not to believe it. Microtransactions help a lot of games, and it's just a part of gaming. I understand I'm being that guy where I'm like, oh, whatever, it's just part of the, but it is. I don't have to like it, and you don't have to like it, but it's just where we are with games. They did the math. There is a big enough portion of us, there's a big enough percentage of us that are out there buying this stuff for them to justify putting it in the game. If there wasn't, it just wouldn't exist. It's just the way the market would bear it. Like if the market bears it and they're making money off of it, they have a reason to do it. So, as always, vote with your wallet. If you refuse to buy this stuff, they will get the point. But there is going to be a group of people paying for it, and as long as people are paying for it, at least you can reap the benefits of the additional content that they're going to create with this. Again, I just want to reiterate that this money isn't to finish products. Like the money they get from selling the expansion is to fund that expansion, and it's etc. They're not making money hand over fist in profits where they can continue to do this kind of stuff, and they set lofty goals for themselves by saying this is going to be a 10-year project. So if you want to continue to see quality content come out of this outside of just the expansion stuff, you need to be a little bit more receptive to these kinds of ideas. Even if you don't want to buy into them, you need to understand just the economics of what they're trying to do with a game that's basically just online multiplayer, like an MMO, without like a subscription fee. Just think of it as any other game like that, like Guild Wars. I will check Guild Wars 2 microtransactions. All right, so is there let's see, Guild Wars 2 store. Let's see if there is microtransactions in Guild Wars. Merchandise partners, it might be in the game, and I might not be able to tell. Let me see. Are there microtransactions in Guild Wars 2? Karma in-game is used for unique words. And gems are the currency that's bought and used to purchase for microtransactions. So Guild Wars 2 has microtransactions. So there you go. Like it is what it is. So just relax, let them figure it out, and if they fuck up, we will let them know by not playing their game if it gets out of hand. As far as I see it, though, right now, it's not out of hand. So we'll see where it leads to in the future, though. However, they do look pretty cool, and you do get 400 silver just because. So that gives you the ability to purchase 2 of the 18. So they're $200. They're 200 silver a piece, except for the 2 legendary ones. So you can go buy 2 emotes with the 400 silver that they gave you. So that's enough of that. But speaking of DLC and microtransactions and whatnot, though, Rocket League does have a new piece of DLC that came out yesterday, and it's called the Revenge of the Battle Cars DLC pack. And it's got all kinds of stuff. It's got 2 new arenas. Well, the ones are it looks like they're reskins. They're nighttime. Well, one's at nighttime and one's at dusk. They added 2 new cars. Looks like a dozen or so new decals. 3 new paint types. 2 new wheels. 2 new rocket trails. 4 new toppers. A handful of new antenna. And 5 more trophies. So if you're still into Rocket League, which I haven't been playing it as much, but I know there's still plenty of people out there playing it. A bunch of new content, and they're also introducing soon in conjunction, because Back to the Future 30th anniversary is coming up. They're doing a DeLorean DLC, which I will probably buy even if I don't play that much, just because I just want to drive around in the DeLorean in that game. Other than that, though, I haven't been playing much myself. I haven't had a lot of time. Just been busy with life, trying to audition for a play coming up. So I've been learning some lines for the audition for that. So that's why I cut my hair. If you're watching the video, my hair is super short. It's the shortest it's been in probably like 10 years or so. But yeah, it's just been busy myself doing that kind of stuff. So we're just going to jump right into the end of the show with what games have come out. So the first game I got for you guys is this game called Frizzy. It says December 22nd of this year, which isn't right because it looks like you can buy it. Has no reviews yet. It's $8, but it's 40% off until the 19th of October for $4.79. Now, this is an action-adventure indie platforming game where you play this little purple fuzzy ball called Frizzy. He's a cute little creature. It just looks like a side-scrolling platformer, but it goes up. I'm trying to think of a comparison. Well, it is a left-to-right side-scrolling platformer, but you can also launch yourself up in the sky. It looks pretty interesting. I don't know much. There's no reviews, so it's hard to really judge it without getting your hands on it, because a platformer has a lot to do with just the feel of the controls and everything, for me anyway. But yeah, that came out. This game, let's see, Zombasite. Zombasite. Sorry, Zombasite. 4 reviews, 100% positive. It's $15 in early access, and it's a top-down third-person, three-quarter view RPG, action RPG. It says it's a dynamic, evolving fantasy world. So zombie apocalypse, set in RPG elements. You're a little guy running around. Looks like your typical three-quarter view RPG, a la Diablo or Baldur's Gate, or any number of those types of games. It looks pretty interesting. The art style is of that ilk, so it reminds me of like maybe Diablo 2 or Neverwinter, something like that. Let's see, happy I bought it. Let's see. This guy, 11 out of 10. This guy said he didn't go in thinking much, and he's been pleasantly surprised. Interesting mechanics, gameplay isn't bad, and plenty of loot. So, the 4 positive reviews seem to be pretty spot on. It just looks like an action RPG. There you go. Like if you like action RPGs, it looks like one of those. Alright, so this game actually kind of confuses me. I tried to, like, I get it, but it's weird. So what confuses me is the number of positive reviews it has. So it's got 96% positive out of 64 reviews. It's $10, but it's 15% off until October 20th for $8.50, and it's called Paint the Town Red. Now this is a voxel-based first-person melee action game. So it's all like melee punching and everything. Is it multiplayer? No, it is a single-player game. So it's like, blockheads, like kind of like Minecraftian, voxel world, but it's all melee, and it's like super over-the-top violence. And I mean, the video looks pretty cool. So you're just running around punching people to death in a couple different like levels. It's in early access, but it seems like there's a demo you can play of it. So go check that out. It actually looks kind of interesting, and with all the positive reviews, I'm actually kind of interested in what this game is to get all these reviews. Like, is it funny? Because I've played plenty of these first-person Minecraft-style games where they take that art style, the voxel-based like block art style, and turn it into games that aren't survival building games, and they're hit or miss with what they are, but with how positive the reviews are, I'm kind of interested. And the 2 negative reviews I can't even read because they're not in English. Alright, so that brings up the last game, and this game is called Decromancer. This game actually looks kind of neat. It says an RPG card game, which I always get intrigued by. So it looks like you're selecting missions from an overworld map, it looks like a hand-drawn map that you're walking along. The gameplay looks like a kind of Hearthstone-ish. There's another mobile card game that it kind of reminds me of. So you got, you're building a deck and you're fighting other people. The art's pretty cool. Looks like a fucking one of the many card games that are now trying to model themselves after a Hearthstone style card game. It's $10. It's in early access. But like I said, there's no reviews, so there's really not much else I can say about that, really. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Sorry to keep it short. Like I said, I didn't really play much, so I didn't have much to talk about there. But just want to ask you guys, if you like this show, please go to iTunes and leave us a review. 5 stars preferably. It helps bump it up into the ratings so more people can see it. Also, while you're at it, tell a friend, or go to the Twitter at Early Access PC on Twitter. Share the tweets about the show. The more followers, the better. I'd love to talk to you guys, so you can tweet at me if you have any questions. If there's something that you want me to dig into, maybe a topic you'd like me to talk about, tweet at me. Let me know. If you want to support the show in other ways, patreon.com/early access. You can support us there. And easiest way, though, is through the Amazon banner at earlyaccessmedia.com. The bottom of the page, use that link, bookmark it. Whenever you buy anything off Amazon, gives us a percentage. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it really does help out the show. I missed something last episode. Now I can't even remember. Instagram, Early Access on Instagram. Go sub to the YouTube channel, Early Access Podcasts on YouTube. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But that'll do it for this episode, guys. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you on Sunday. Doo-doo-doo-doo.